Group appeals to youth to shelve planned protest. A group has appealed to Nigerian youth to reconsider their planned protest and instead engage in dialogue to address the country's issues. The group acknowledged Nigeria's position as the giant of Africa and the leading nation on the continent.
Nigeria is the giant of Africa and the leading nation in the continent. We must recognize our leadership role, the potentials endowment of our dear country. We strongly believe and firmly support a united, stable, prosperous Nigeria. It is germane to reconsider the idea of protest and allow dialogue in order to address the issues amicably.
They emphasized the need to recognize Nigeria's leadership role and the potential endowments of the country. The group expressed strong belief and firm support for a united, stable, and prosperous Nigeria. They encouraged the use of dialogue to resolve issues amicably rather than resorting to protest. By choosing dialogue over protest, the group hopes to find peaceful solutions to the country's problems and promote a more stable and prosperous future for Nigeria. Reps ask youth to shun planned protests amid the severe hunger crisis caused by the high cost of food, coupled with issues of insecurity and unemployment. Nigerian youths are reportedly planning another nationwide protest. This news has reached the House of Representatives, where a motion of urgent public importance was raised, urging the youth to reconsider their protest plans.
Appeals to the proponents of the proposed nationwide protest in Nigeria to consider a different path, a path of patience, dialogue, and collaboration to prioritize the line of peace and open channels of meaningful engagements with the government.
The representatives stressed that such action could lead to violence and loss of life, which would not be in the country's best interests. The lawmakers appealed to the proponents of the planned protest to choose a path of patience, dialogue, and collaboration, emphasizing the importance of peace and meaningful engagement with the government. In a show of empathy, the legislators proposed a motion calling for each member to donate 50% of their salaries for the next 6 months to the federal government to help alleviate hunger in the country.
I'm moving that we amend that prayer to include that members sacrifice maybe 50% of our salary for a period of 3 months or 6 months to help Nigerians and to show that we are in support. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
During the season, one lawmaker highlighted the dire situation in many states where some households have gone days without cooking or eating, forcing people to beg for food.
Mr. Speaker, a hungry man is an angry man. We know this. Protests normally are ways of informing the government of what people feel, particularly negative things that are happening now. We all know that. I don't know of other states, but in my state, there are houses that for a good 4 or 5 days, they cook nothing, and they sleep on nothing, and they feed on nothing. People now go out to beg. Even those that are not supposed to beg now go out to beg.
The proposed salary sacrifice will result in the House of Representatives contributing 108 million naira monthly, amounting to 648 million naira over 6 months. to the federal government. The motion was passed by the majority in favor, and the lawmakers collectively resolved to support the government and the people of Nigeria addressing food security and other pressing challenges.
Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, honorable colleagues. One thing I can take and tell the world concerning this motion is our collective resolution to sacrifice 50% of our salaries for a period of 6 months to support the government and the people of Nigeria on the issue of this food security, food shortages, and so on and so forth.
The appeal was directed particularly at the youth, women, and vulnerable groups, urging them to understand that correcting long-standing issues takes time.
To all Nigerians, particularly the younger ones, the youths, the women, the vulnerable, that it takes a reasonable period of time to correct what has been damaged for a reasonable period of time.
This motion received widespread support among the lawmakers, who also appealed to Nigerians to avoid a repeat of the 2022 End SARS protests. The House leadership promised to do everything possible to support the federal government in resolving the nation's crisis, hoping this gesture would assuage the anger of those planning the nationwide protest.